President Trump ordered funding cuts to two outlets to stop what he calls biased and partisan news coverage.
He signed an executive order late yesterday directing the Corporation for Public Broadcasting to cease federal funding for NPR and PBS. The move could be challenged in court. Fox's Mike Emanuel reports.
If you're a fan of Frontline or All Things Considered, you might need to find a new favorite show. President Trump signed an executive order on Thursday that would end all federal funding to both PBS and NPR, accusing both networks of, quote, spreading racial woke propaganda disguised as news. It's the latest move in an ongoing attempt by Trump to remake American culture by going after institutions he deems too liberal, including the Kennedy Center and the National Endowment for Humanities.
That is incredibly problematic when you talk about children's programming that includes a drag queen, when you talk about documentaries pushing reparations and white privilege.
But the funding, which flows through the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, has already been appropriated by Congress, and Democrats on Capitol Hill say they'll fight to keep it.
The decision to attack Big Bird and the Cookie Monster, I mean, it's just a strange thing.
The heads of both PBS and NPR have pushed back on accusations they have a liberal slant, telling lawmakers last month public media plays a crucial role in American life.
It's our job to deliver truthful facts and information so citizens can make up their own minds.
But some say the funding freeze was inevitable as the White House pushes forward with its cost-cutting agenda.
Those things were once sacred cows. Now there are no more sacred cows.
The Corporation for Public Broadcasting sued President Trump earlier this week for firing 3 out of 5 members of its board of directors. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox 4 News.
President Trump escalated his showdown with Harvard with a new threat to strip the university of its tax-exempt status. The status allows Harvard to avoid paying certain fees on revenue. The Trump administration says the move is part of its effort to root out anti-Semitism on college campuses. It froze more than $2 billion in federal funding headed to the school last month after the university ignored demands to turn over records about international students.
The 5-year pause in student loan repayments is over, and economists say repayments could have an impact on spending power. Nearly $1.7 trillion in student debt has not been collected since 2021. Delinquent borrowers started to be reported to credit agencies last fall. The government says it will go as far as to start garnishing people's wages if necessary. Borrowers say it will have an impact on their spending.
When you're looking at an entire generation of people that are sort of crippled by debt and not able to spend any of their discretionary income, that's kind of a drag on the economy, I think.
The Department of Education estimates only about 40% of nearly 43 million student loan borrowers are current on their payments.